Hey y'all, I just saw a post this evening. Rachel Posner and her husband had posted about today's young people and how they typically don't have really good work ethic. They don't like working hard and they don't want to be employed when they're young. They expect their parents to kind of give them everything. So, as I read through the comments, I started thinking about my own experiences when I was growing up. I started working really early. By the time I was 17, I had my own business, my own contract with the state, and I provided job placement and training services for the deaf. And then as time went on, I moved up in my career. And by the time I was about 24, I had a pretty good salary, but I worked really hard for it. My husband is pretty much the same thing. When he was young, 12, 13 even, he worked at a roofing company with his husband. And so he would do roofing out in the hot sun all day long, working really hard. He established really good work ethic and just hard work. And so when we had children, we did not want them to lose that kind of tradition of good work ethic. So with our oldest, she went to work at 15. She worked at Chick-fil-A. And so Chick-fil-A, you can work at 14 or 15 with parents' consent. That's here in Texas. I don't know about other states. I'm not really sure. But here in Texas, it's allowed with parental support. You have to approve of it. So my daughter started working at 15, and we required that half of her paychecks would go into savings. It was just a requirement. So she could keep the other half, but she would have to be wise and learn to budget and manage her money. And then when she was ready to buy her first car, she had money, and so we helped. We helped pay for it, but she learned how to do it on her own, and then she made payments to us and paid it off. So it's really important to it was really important for us to teach our kids that. And then now that our daughter's an adult, she never has asked us for money. She doesn't ask us for financial support. At 22, she's very financially stable. She has everything that she needs, and she's doing really well. She has great work ethic. She's a hard worker. She's not lazy. She's not a slacker. She goes to work every day, doesn't miss, very responsible. And she learned all of that at a really young age. And that is just so important. It was the same with our other kids. Our deaf kids, it was a little bit more of a challenge for them to find work. However, they would go to work with their dad in his business. So they would mow lawns, they would do landscaping, they do handyman services, woodwork, welding, you name it. And so they were learning all that, and he would pay them. So he started taking them at about 10 years old, and then they would work a little, and then he would pay them. And so it was just a learning process for them. Now my son is 16, and he's already, self-employed. He works doing landscaping and mowing lawns, doing basic repairs and moving furniture. There's people that are constantly calling on him, and so he just does these odd jobs, and he earns a lot of money doing that. And people are always calling me and saying, "Your son, oh my gosh, he's such a hard worker. He's a fast learner. He listens. He's respectful. He shows up on time. He's honest." And they're always just so impressed with him. I'm like, wow. Often you do not see that in young people these days. And so I just want to encourage you guys, don't be afraid to challenge your children. Encourage them to work, whether it's volunteer or actually working for income. It doesn't matter. Just keep going and encouraging them, because it'll become a great skill. They'll get used to hard work.